How much computer does $27.73 get you? Well, that's oddly specific. Yeah, I actually bought this for 25 euros. Wanna know what I got and what it's capable of? Hang on. It's the Anarchy with me on the exciting guide! This is the machine I bought. It looks used, but it's not in a bad shape. Inside is a Core 2 quad CPU at 2.5 GHz and 8 GB of DDR3 memory, 128 GB SSD, and an nvidia GeForce GT 730 video card. On the back we can see we're missing some plates though, and the video card is missing its VGA connector. I guess this card has been used in a low profile setup before. The most interesting part here is the passive power supply. I have never seen one of these before. It's a high-power FL5000. I couldn't find much info about this one, except on this, I think, Russian website. The previous owner didn't like fan noise, so I have this shipped in from the US. When we open it up, we see a big-ass Salmon cooler. It's attached to this fan controller. I'm not a big fan of those, pun not intended. I'd rather have the motherboard control it automatically when needed. The graphics card is passive as well, which is nice. It should be a GeForce GT 730. I'm not sure why anyone would think it's a good idea to put the only other card in the system that close to it though. Give it some space to get rid of heat. Furthermore, it's a bit messy, but I don't care about that. Here's the SSD, which is supposedly brand new. I guess the previous owner didn't care for a bracket, but hey, it's an SSD, it doesn't hurt. Let's first take care of the CPU fan. Sorry about the blurry footage. I thought the camera was set to autofocus. Oops. I disconnect the fan controller and... oh, it was connected to a case fan header. The cable doesn't reach the CPU fan header though, because it's stuck behind the mount. So I removed the cooler from its mount and took the opportunity to repaste here as well. Alright, everything back in place, let's fire it up. Well, look at that, a free CD! Not exactly silent though. Just as I thought, the motherboard's built-in fan controller is disabled. Let's enable it. Not much of a difference. Let's put the minimum speed to 0, see what that does. Right, it seems this is one of those motherboards that refuses to control a 3-pin CPU fan. Damn it! As an experiment, I bought this PWM hub for around $5 to see if that would make any difference. It's a 4-pin or PWM connector to connect to the motherboard and can distribute that signal to 4 different fans. So I'll connect both the CPU and case fan to the hub and connect the hub to the CPU fan header. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I even tried connecting an old AMD cooler with a 4-pin connector to the first port, but guess what? Even that didn't get controlled. So I guess I'll just keep that hub around for a future project. I did try to connect the AMD cooler directly to the CPU fan header on the mainboard, but it kept spinning at full speed, even though the CPU temperature only got around 33 degrees Celsius. So I guess it's the mainboard that's just not willing to control the CPU fan here. I did try to update the BIOS to see if that made any difference. It didn't accept the latest version at first, so I downloaded version 5.2 and that flashed just fine. Since that didn't fix the issue, I tried version 5.6 again, and this time it flashed without warnings. Still no silent CPU fan though. So let's just put that analog fan controller back in place. Well, that's interesting. Even with the controller at full speed, it's not running as fast as without a controller. Weird. Alright, on to some testing. What performance can we get out of a system that only costs 25 euros? Originally, it had an unactivated Windows 10 install on the drive, which seems to run fine. Well, if you watch any of my other videos, you know what's gonna happen, right? So I installed Linux, Mageia this time, to see how it performs with that. Installation went fine. Let's see if everything works. No sound? Ah. Does video play well too? Cool! So I guess we don't have to worry about basic desktoping on this one. It's already a decent system for anyone who needs to do homework. Homework! The Wi-Fi adapter seems to work fine as well. Nice! Let's try some games on this GT730. We're running the open source Nouveau driver at the moment. Let's see what that brings us. Extreme Tux Racer runs great at 1080p. So does Super Tux. Super Tux Kart is not great at 1080p though, but at 720p it runs quite decently. Next I installed Steam to see if I could get any Windows games to run. Not really. The only game in my library that I could run was Death Rally, which is a DOS game if I'm correct. So I tried to install the proprietary nvidia drivers and got reminded to the fact that nvidia drivers are a pain on Linux. Mageia only seems to provide drivers 535 and 550, both of which won't work with an older card like this GT730. So I downloaded an older driver from nvidia's website and tried to install that. Oh no, the Nouveau driver is installed. Yes, please fix that for me. Installation failed, because you sure can't compile a proprietary driver whilst running Nouveau, right? Okay, let's reboot. What, no fallback to any other driver? Cool. User friendliness above anything, right? Alright, let's try again. Oh, we seem to be missing dependencies. Ooh, no error messages in advance. Cool! Why is there a version mismatch between the running kernel and the installed headers? I fully updated this system so the latest of everything should be here. Fix that, try it again. Oh, come on! After a few more attempts, I was done trying to fix this and installed Arch, so I could just install the right driver from AUR. With this, I could run Doom 2016, but nah, not really. Other games just wouldn't run. I guess this GPU is just too old for most games. So I swapped it out for my GTX 1050 Ti, which I bought for €50, bumping the worth of this PC to €75 or $83.84. Still pretty cheap if you can game on it, I guess. With this card, Motorbike Evolution 2024 ran quite decently at 1080p. Lowering the resolution to 1600 by 900 didn't do much in terms of performance. First time playing this game, so I'm not sure if it looks better on a faster system. 1 Million Fatal Guns ran quite well at 1080p and all settings to epic. Doom 2016 ran perfectly fine at 1080p as well. I didn't try Eternal because there's not enough space on the SSD. I'm using the Doom 2016 demo because it's just 8GB. So if you're a gamer, you might want a bigger SSD as well. 128GB just doesn't cut it with those kind of games anymore. I guess that's all I have for you today. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, I think you're awesome. Even more awesomer would be to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time. You're still here? What? Oh! I totally forgot my power draw readings. Idle in Arch Linux, this system used around 60 watts. Running Doom 2016, it got to around 90 watts. I only measured it with the original video card, but I don't think it will be much different with the 1080 Ti. Yeah. Bye.